Sean Penn continues to help Ukraine. Recently, he visited the country again, even though attacks are still ongoing. He came to Lviv, a city close to the Polish border, to work on a strategy and implement specific programs to support the people there. So, although the actor recently promised to smelt his Oscar, actually doing it's certainly not at the top of his list right now. Right before this year's Academy Awards ceremony, Penn issued an ultimatum. He said that if the Academy doesn't let Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy speak at the events, it should be boycotted.
I myself, if it comes back to it, when I return, I will smelt mine in public.
But in fact, Penn didn't even watch the ceremony because he and his foundation had more important things to do. To support Ukraine, the actor is using Community Organized Relief Effort, or CORE, a group that he co-founded over 10 years ago. Most importantly, they aim to help refugees. And they're also working to scale up their in-country programs and support humanitarian efforts in Ukraine. Sean initially came to Ukraine to work on a documentary. He started gathering information for it in November last year. Back then, Penn visited the eastern region of Ukraine, where military actions have been ongoing since 2014. The filmmaker talked to a few people in the government, as well as journalists and members of the military. And in February, he arrived once again right on the eve of the first attacks and attended a press briefing just hours before the invasion began. But Penn didn't flee right away and literally risked his life to make his film as truthful as possible. The president and ministers knew that it was important to provide Sean with any information they could give, because the more people know the truth about the ongoing war, the quicker the aggressor will be stopped. According to Penn, America has to help with that. He says that Ukraine is the tip of the spear for the democratic embrace of dreams, and if the USA leaves it to fight alone, America's soul will be lost. After all, what's going on in Ukraine right now is important for the whole world.
The ramifications of this horrifying invasion go far beyond Ukraine and will come to all of our doorsteps, whether we be in Europe, in the United States, or sub-Saharan Africa.
After getting all the material he needed, Sean had to flee the country for safety reasons. But getting to Warsaw wasn't easy because of all the other people also desperately trying to cross the border. The line of cars was so long, Sean couldn't stay in it. Myself and 2 colleagues walked miles to the Polish border after abandoning our car on the side of the road, the actor shared in his Twitter post. As they walked, the actor saw most of the people around him were women and children, and the majority of them had little to no luggage.
This was a startling thing to me.
At that point, Penn already knew that his work in helping Ukraine shouldn't be limited to making a documentary. And right now, CORE is on the ground in Poland and Romania, supporting those who fled Ukraine. They're focusing on providing decent housing to around 50 refugees in Krakow alone. Penn says that taking in refugees is one of the most honorable things one can do.
I don't know a greater value than opening your doors to those in need when they need it.
And he's still communicating with the Ukrainian government. When speaking about President Zelenskyy, the actor shared that he's an incredibly moving human being.
One man whose heart and eyes represent the extraordinary courage of a nation.
In his turn, Zelenskyy was inspired by Penn's bravery and adamant intention to help his country fight for freedom. Ukraine needs more people like Sean, true friends who fully support them in words and actions. But it's not the first time the actor has done something like this. Penn is known for his frequent efforts to help anti-war and humanitarian operations. In the past, he's supported people in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina in the United States, and he also did a lot for Haiti when it suffered a catastrophic earthquake in 2010. The latter was even covered in a documentary titled Citizen Penn. So it's in the actor's nature to help those who need it the most.
I'm going to do everything I can do. And whether that is me being here or coming back many times.
And like millions of Ukrainians, he's completely sure of the outcome of this war.
There's no question in my mind, Ukraine will win this fight. And the question will be, where were we when they did?
The world is standing up for Ukraine more and more every day. But supporting the country doesn't require going there like Penn did. Even the smallest bit of help can save someone's life. If you want to help refugee children and families from Ukraine, please support the UNICEF initiative.